Can I film? I mean, seriously. What a beautiful day. Yeah. What a beautiful day.
Please get out of the car.
You want to see some real shit? This is the premise of today's video. If you guys haven't watched the movie Scarface, you should go out and you should watch it. If you guys haven't watched the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, you should go out, you should watch it. So on and so forth, the list goes on and on and on. But I sit here now in the position that I dreamed of being in for 3 years straight. 3 years straight, I woke up every single day saying, I want this much income, I want this car, I want this life. I said it every single day for 3 years, and here I am, living it, living in it, living in it. How the fuck did that happen? Well, it's actually that exact joke of a meme of a picture that I just showed you. That's how it happened. You're like, what? I'll explain. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Nobody that you watch on the internet actually knows what they're doing. Do you understand that people just start and they just stay in it long enough and don't give up long enough to where they start to build some positive momentum? And then they build a little more and a little more and a little more, and the next thing you know, making money goes from kicking a ball up a hill to kicking a ball down a hill. That's how easy it gets after a certain point. But there's so many times when you kick the ball up the hill that you break your foot, that the ball deflates, that the mountain gets steeper, so on and so forth. You guys get where I'm going with this. The journey, the incline, the experience of getting to where you want to be is the most beautiful part, because you can look back and say, wow, I put all that work in to be in the position that I'm in. You can celebrate with a clear head. You can enjoy what you've actually worked for. What I'm trying to say is this: you need to start. Because if you don't start, you will never know where you could have ended up. You will never know where you could have landed. And so many people I see are scared to start a business. They're scared to take that leap, that first jump, scared to lose money, scared to lose time. You think these are fears that I didn't have? You think all the people that you watch online did not experience those same exact fears? You know the only difference between you and the entrepreneurs and the millionaires that you watch online that you want to be like? A couple years in business, the fact that they started, and the fact that they never gave up. Let me say that again. The fact that they started, the fact that they never gave up, and the fact that they stayed in business for a couple of years. That's the only difference, guys. You think they didn't have all the same fears that you have? They probably had more. Everyone wants to be like Tony Montana in his peak in Scarface, but no one wants to be how he was when he was cleaning the dishes. Guys, there's people that I know that are too proud to work a delivery job, but they collect government checks. There's people that I know that are too proud to put the work in. Where's your ego getting you? Where has it gotten you up to this point? You know what I did when I didn't have money? I worked as a server, and I gave people eggs or whatever they ordered off the frickin' menu. You think I was happy to wake up every day and work a job that I didn't like? I wasn't. But who's gonna change that? Someone else? Was I gonna blame the fact that all the cost of everything was going up and car payments are too much and this payment's too... No, you know what I did? I grabbed the bull by the horns. I said, okay, directionally, this is where I wanna go with my life. I wanna be a multimillionaire. I wanna own multiple businesses. I wanna have an impact through people with a brand. You know, it doesn't just happen overnight, right? I wanna have investments. You know what? I wanna have a supercar. That doesn't just happen overnight. There's a journey. There's a process. There is a process, but you know what? You need to take your first step. And after you take your first step, you need to take your second step, and your third, and your fourth, and your fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, so on and so forth. But the hardest one is the first. The hardest it will ever be in business is when you're just starting now. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Luke Del Priori. I own a marketing agency. Cool. Do you think it's easier for me to get clients now, already having over 100 active customers, or was it easier when I first started? It's easier now. I already have the proof of concept. People know what we do. They know the results that we get, so on and so forth. But you guys have to understand, early on, you're never gonna get to the 100 clients if you don't go through the sticking period of going through all the hard work that it takes to get there, right? So many of you guys allow what goes on between your ears and the doubt that you have in here and the seeds of doubt that are in your mind win. You let them proliferate, and it stops you from being the person that you could be. And you'll never meet that person. Here's what I want you guys to do. Close your eyes and say, I want to meet myself in 3 years. Who will that person be? Maybe you're depressed right now. Maybe you're anxious. Maybe you don't know what you want to do directionally. But let me ask you a question. Do you want to meet that person in 3 years? Do you want to meet who you are right now in 3 years? And I would argue that for the majority of you guys, the answer is going to be no. And that's a good thing. Because even I don't want to meet myself now in 3 years. See, a lot of people say you change, you change. You ever met that one person, or do we all know that one person, and they haven't grown and they haven't self-developed at all? You've watched them year over year, over year, over year do the same thing. Keep the same bad habits, the same negative people. Have you ever noticed where those people end up? Not in a good spot. I changed, yes, I changed a lot in the last 3 years. Good. I'm gonna keep changing. I'm gonna change as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna self-develop and become the best version of myself for my customers, for my future family, for myself, for my friends, for anybody, for the people that I eventually wanna donate money to. It was my self-development that allows me to donate money to charity. It was my self-development that got me into good shape. It was my self-development that gave me all the good things that have happened in my life. And then eventually I got lucky, right? Here I am, lucky, super lucky, right? No, it's certain inputs that create certain outputs. And I say it all the time, but I feel like no one's listening. So do you want to meet who you are in 3 years? No? Well, good. What are you going to do to change that? And that's when so many of you guys stop. Oh, but then I would have to work really hard. I would have to start going to the gym. I would have to start eating better food. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you want to meet the peak version of yourself in a couple of years after having done all those things? Maybe you then travel the world and experience the money that you earned, and you do all these cool ass things, and in 3 years, you're not mad at life anymore. You have healthier relationships now. You have way more money in the bank. You have all the things that you actually want. How are you gonna get there? How are you actually going to get there? Tell me. And most of you guys don't know how. You don't know how. Because guess what? The good life, unfortunately, requires money. I don't want to say unfortunately. It requires money. In life, you need money. How are you going to build the level of income that you need to live the kind of life that you want? I think I might have an idea how. Actually, I know how. For me, when I was broke, I initially started a content business, and then I shut that business down, started a second business, which is the agency that I run today. That's the business that has made me my multiple millions. Below in the description, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to link to a video titled How I Made My First Million. And if you guys have not watched that video, I would encourage you to go watch it, because you'll learn more about me, who I am, and how I actually make money inside of my business today. But I don't wanna elaborate on that right now. What I want you guys to do is this. I want you guys to remember these words. If you meet yourself in 3 years and you're in the same position that you're in right now, how disgusted will you be with yourself? Most of you guys should be disgusted. And if you're not, you should be disgusted that you're not willing to change. The fact that you're reluctant to change is a disgusting trait. That's really it, guys. There's really not much else that I want to say in this video. The premise of the video is really this is designed to get you a little bit upset. Are you happy with where you're at? Well, if no, why are you not doing the inputs that you know you need to do? I'm trying to speak to you like a brother. I don't care how old you are watching this video, 14 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 25 years old, maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in college. Guys, if you don't have the life that you want, you're the only one that can fix it. You're the only one that can fix it.
That's a cold last line. The only one who can fix it.